So Kenzie is here with us. Good morning, Kenzie.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Let's talk about why you're here with us on the quarantine cam, because you are a miracle child. And since the Children's Miracle Network Radiothon is happening this week, why not find out from you what people are going to be donating for?
You're like a really recent miracle child too, correct?
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead and tell people your story?
Yeah, tell us what happened at the track meet in 8th grade, because it seems like that's where this all started.
It was gym in the 8th grade, and I had fell on my knee, and then it didn't really hurt, but then in science, one of the students said that I looked like I had two knees. So the science teacher looked at it and was like, "Oh, go call your mom and get ice and come back to class. You'll be fine." So I only grabbed my phone and I called my mom and I was like, "It doesn't really hurt, but he told me to go get ice." So then when I got there to the office lady and I pulled my legging up, it looked really bad, and I told her it didn't hurt. And then she called my mom and was like, "Come pick her up. It looks like it hurts." So it looks really bad. So then we went to the doctors, and I had been having bruising and I didn't know why. So then they didn't really care about my knee, and they just wanted to get the blood work done. So they did that, and then we got a phone call at 8:30 saying that it was really not it was abnormal, and we scheduled an appointment at the Hurley Oncology Clinic for the next day, and then they told me there that it was an abnormal, and I had to spend the night in the hospital and get a bone marrow biopsy the next day. And then then I cried. I didn't want to stay in the hospital. And then I did, and then it came back that I had acute myeloid leukemia.
Wow.
Leukemia.
All that from a fall in gym.
Yes.
So leukemia is a big word.
It's a big, scary word, yeah.
You have your mom, Lady, sitting next to you. Lady,
Yes,
what is that like as a parent, going from my child has a bruised knee to doing some blood work to leukemia?
I can't even explain the feeling. It was pit in my stomach, fall over to the floor, tears. So scary.
And Kenzie, what is it like for you? How did you, I guess, did you understand first off?
No, I really didn't. I was scared. I just was scared, and I didn't know what it really meant. And I just thought that I was going to get weak. I don't know. I remember squeezing my mom's hand just to see if I could still do it.
This is one of those things that I think just goes to speak for how resilient kids are, because this has been a theme with all of the miracle kids we've talked to, is the parents seem to freak out more than the kids. And the kids are like, "I don't know what's going on. I just know I'm not okay, so I got to get fixed." Which, it's just amazing to, like you said, you didn't understand what it meant. You just thought, hey, I'm going to be weak for a while, and maybe in and out of the hospital, but you definitely probably weren't as scared as your parents.
Yeah.
So you end up going then to Hurley Children's Hospital for treatment. And what was that like for you?
And then let's put a timeline on this, because this all started in December of last year. So like I said, this is very recent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So going to Hurley was it was amazing. The people were great, from the nurses and the doctors to the child life. Everyone was great, and they're like my family now. I love them a lot.
It's something that we often talk about, is that connection between the child life specialists and everyone at Hurley Children's Hospital and Children's Miracle Network and the patients. This is not just someone who comes into your life for
a fleeting moment and then they're gone. No, these people become family and they stay family.
Because I bet you right now, Kenzie, Lady, can you rattle off some names for me? Who are the names of some of the people?
We can rattle off all of them, probably.
Yeah,
we got Laura, we got Amanda, we got the nurses Jenny and Dana and JP. I mean, just time. There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So we head into the hospital and we have a plan of treatment. And then in the middle of that plan
Oh my gosh.
comes the pandemic.
So what
Yeah.
was that like? What was that like for you? How did that alter your treatment? And I mean, that must have been pretty scary for you guys to have that extra level of concern.
Yeah, it was. And no one really knew like what to say or like how to act. I don't know. I know that in my hospital room it got a lot more boring because I couldn't like go outside and like walk around the hallways. I had to stay up in my room.
Wow, I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that. I mean, talk about just on top, on top, on top. So you had some support from your community, and it sounds like a lot of folks rallied around you.
Yeah.
It was overwhelming. The support from the Fenton schools, from her volleyball teams. I can't thank them enough. It was, the Fenton community is amazing. Just amazing.
So Kenzie, you rang the bell on June 15th. Can you tell everybody who doesn't know what that means, what it means to ring the bell at Hurley Children's Hospital?
So it means like you're done with your treatment and you're like
Cancer free.
Yeah, cancer free. Yeah.
That is a moment that I have seen immortalized now on video, on Instagram, on TikTok, and pictures. And we're so glad that you were able to ring that bell. So what does your health look like right now? What does your future look like? What kind of treatments or monitoring do you have to do?
So I go back monthly to Hurley to the oncology clinic up there, and then I had like some heart stuff because of it. So my next test for that isn't till December. And I still have a port in, which is like what they gave me chemo for. And so I don't know. I have to keep that in for 6 months after treatment. So I'll get that out probably around like December, November. So.
Kenzie, I have a question for you as a former teenage girl myself. I see in the pictures here that you lost your hair or you shaved your head, and we can see here that your beautiful hair is growing back, which must feel really good. But what's that like as a teenage girl? Like what were those feelings like for you?
I mean, about losing my hair, it wasn't as bad because I always just put my hair up in a ponytail. And then when I was in the hospital, with my port access, I couldn't take showers. So it'd be 7 days before I could take a shower. So it was just like, it was a greasy mess and it was gross. So I was ready. And then when it started falling out, I was like ready to shave it. I was kind of ready to shave it before it even started falling out because it was so gross. It was like, ugh.
I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like, long hair is a pain in the butt. So
Yeah.
in your situation, this was probably a welcome to shave your head.
See, and
Yeah.
this is once again, AJ, why Kenzie's generation of Zoomers is better than yours.
Oh, I would have gotten made fun of so
No,
bad. I
no.
did get made fun of.
Not Kenzie. She was ready to shave
Yeah.
her head beforehand.
And your fellow classmates and the whole community was behind you. What is the most memorable thing about being at Hurley Children's Hospital? Like, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
Just like they made the hospital fun. Like in general, like it was obviously it was terrifying to get chemo, but at the same time it was like, well, I get to go see all my nurse friends again. So it's just, and then when I was in ICU for a couple days and they came and they visited me there and it was them just in general.
And that's what the Children's Miracle Network does. And we've heard that line so many times from Miracle Kids and, parents, that hospitals are scary places even for adults. And one thing that CMN does and does really well is they make sure that the hospital is a fun place, as fun as it can be while you're sick.
Yeah.
They don't want it to be scary. They want it to be a calming place for you to come get better.
Mm-hmm.
So, lady, I know the Children's Miracle Network also supports the entire family. So what was your experience? Because like you said, you have other kids, you have life going on. What were they like for you?
They again, just amazing. Like, we got gas cards every time every time we were there, every doctor's appointment or hospital stay, they financially helped us out, and emotionally for myself, for my kids. Like when I had to tell my younger two, I have a 9 and a 7-year-old, about Mackenzie's diagnosis, the child life was right there with me. They recommended, that it came from mom and dad and not from, a nurse, or from someone from school. So when we sat them down, child life was right there to help me with any questions, how to talk to the kids. They are amazing people.
That's so hard
Amazing people.
as a mom, because you are trying to keep it together for everybody,
Right.
not just Kenzie, but your other kids and the rest of your family. And you yourself are probably starting to unravel a little bit, but as a mom, we got to keep it together. So that must have been really hard.
And as we always talk about, life goes on.
Yeah.
You unfortunately do not get a pause button when disease or sickness hits your family.
You still got to go to work. Your kids still got to go to
Exactly.
school. That's even tougher.
So that's the kind of a support, like we said, emotionally, financially, that both the parents get and the brothers and sisters get, and then of course the patient gets. It's an amazing story. You have a story upon a story upon a story. Leukemia through a pandemic. It's amazing, and I'm so glad that you are healthy and you are thriving now, Kenzie.
I hope you're not sick of
Thank
telling this
you.
story, because you are going to have to tell it for years to come. People will never believe you. They'll be like, get out.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
if you could go ahead right now and just tell someone who's listening, and perhaps they're thinking, well, maybe I can help out a little bit. Maybe I can pick up the phone. Maybe I can donate just a small bit out of my own finances. Can you tell them just how important that is and how important it'll be to the future children?
They definitely should do it. I mean, like, I can't imagine, like, there being no child life or there being, like, no thing. And they rely on that funding. So, I don't know. They just should do it.
Yeah,
She
please
can't
donate.
She can't imagine it without the
Without.
child life specialist.
Yeah, that speaks volumes.
That's really what it's all about. Kenzie and Lady, I want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your story. And we'll see you around for the actual Radiothon that's happening this week as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.